But I have the other ones available in there.
Wait.
But
What? So, Luke, what are you drinking today? Coca-Cola.
Morning on the way to the gym and set my ukulele on top of the car and then drove off down the road.
I mean, a bow after that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Mojo! I learned my lesson from last time. What a welcome, thank you. I drink the most fruity drink imaginable.
It's laundry day.
it's laundry day.
So you always wear hats with laundry day?
I'm going to do you a favor, James. I just say, believe it.
So how did you two meet?
Well, there's these places in San Francisco. I think they're called bathhouses.
It's like one of those things where everyone wants to focus on like the big events that happen, but day to day, what we're doing is we're on like one of our draw streams, smoking weed, making comics. It's chill. It's so much fun, and like
Yes. Man, it's I'm not a YouTuber. I do this because I want to sell comic books. Yes, guys, it is Sunday. It is Sunday. You know what that means. That means another episode of A Drink with Brink, where I talk with other indie creators about their hopes and their dreams, but also their books and their campaigns. Because frankly, I'm kind of done with mainstream. Mainstream comics suck. And indie is where the passion is. So yes, wow, I hope you're all having a fantastic weekend. My weekend is really good. I've been working on a script today, a new script for a new book. And I'm really excited about it. And yesterday, I received page 29 of Perfect 10, book 5, fully inked. So I sent it to the colorist. This means there are 3 pages left to ink. So we're getting there, guys. So back while you still can, right? So the campaign is still active. You can back on Indiegogo. You can back on FundMyComic, where we have the exclusive Alan Goldman cover. You can only get it right there and only now, because once we go to the printer, it is over. I will only print the amount of books that are like ordered. And then it's done, guys. So cover C is very exclusive and only You can only get it through FundMyComic. Right, guys, let's see who is in the chat with us today on this rainy Sunday. It's rainy here. Show on the stream. David Feed. Hi, says David Feed. Welcome, David Feed. Welcome. How are you? David Feed has his own book called Red Eyes. I think he's with issue 4 right now. Red Eyes issue 4. It has a campaign. Is it still going? I don't know. But go check it out. Here it. By the way, this is the link for the campaign that we're talking about today. It's pinned in the chat, so you can already check it out if you want. Mike, welcome, Mike. Welcome to the chat, sir. Greetings, citizens. First drink with Brink 2025. Yes, I totally forgot. Happy New Year, guys. 2025, crazy. So this year I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a exciting year for Jamin Comics. We have some things going on, and it will be creatively interesting. Welcome, Mike. And then we have Crenshaw FAO. Welcome, Crenshaw. Got my drink, waiting for the Brink. Well, here's the Brink, sir, and enjoy the drink while we show this from Mike, because he says back Phenomenova 2 and Perfect 10 issue 5 plus POWERTRIP issue 2. I completely agree. So back all of that, guys. Snappy coordinated outfit, Dave. My outfit. You like my outfit? All right. Thank you so much. I'm trying to I don't know. I just grabbed something. 58 Underground. Hello all. Welcome 58 Underground. Nice to see you on this Sunday. I hope your day is good so far. Right. And I think I got you. I got all of you. Yeah, I got them all. Send out the link, guys. Let's get some more people in, because we have a wonderful guest and we need to talk about his new campaign. So this madman, he launched a campaign during January. So this is something that usually is like not really what's the word? Like go do that. What's the word? I'm lost for words, guys. So it's better to let him do the talking. So let's bring him on, guys. Let's bring him on. The video. There's the video. I need the video because he needs a warm welcome. May I have a warm welcome, guys, for the guest of the hour, Mr. Vaughn Coleman.
What's going on, Dave? How you doing?
Woo! There he is. He's back.
Yeah.
He's back. Welcome,
I got a new book with me, so that's always exciting, right?
You brought a new book. Yeah. Excellent.
For show and tell. Yeah.
Whew. First off, how are you doing? Happy New Year to you, Vaughn.
Happy New Year. Right back. Yeah, it's been an interesting year so far, basically, because obviously the days before the campaign are like prepping for that. So really that's been what's on my mind. But I've had a successful campaign. That's been really good. The news cycle has not been good, but that's out of my control. And then, one of the
cycle, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, we start out the year with terrorist attacks. The creator of Thomas the Tank Engine just died yesterday, and that was my favorite show growing up. So
what happened?
Thomas the Tank Engine. That sucks. But you know what? Died. But I'm controlling what's in my control so far. It's going all right. It's going pretty well. I've had a successful campaign so far. I mean, we're talking, in January, because we're like, Vaughn, you won't have success in January. I'm like, well, I got to watch. I'm not going to just hold off production for another month.
Sure. Yeah. I get that. I get that. Usually it's discouraged. That was the word that I was looking for. Discouraged to launch a book in January,
as well as December, which I'm like, well, I got to launch one of them. All right, you guys already got December off. You know what?
Yeah. You have this gap like 2 months that you can't do anything.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Like comics still release monthly. I'm like, if we're trying to get there, you know, the fact of the matter is that the customers want it, they want it. And so far, 89 people have said, yeah, I'm going to give this individual money, which is good.
Maybe,
you know,
maybe it's all a myth, Vaughn. Maybe just
fake news media.
Maybe you're just proving right now that it's all a myth, that people can launch in January. Or do you need a specific strategy?
I don't know. I mean, for your first book, you want to be more careful, right? But the second book, the glove, you know, the gloves are off in the sense where it's like, I'm trying to get it out. Okay, I want it in people's hands. You know, people need to not just fund books, but guys, you gotta make and release them. It's important. It's important. So that's the part that I'm on. You know, I'm funding it, but I'm also want to make sure the book gets in people's hands. Because the fact of the matter is, the promise of a book is only interesting for so long. At a certain point, people are going to want what they pay for, and they're going to want it to be good. And you know, that's one of the things. Like, for example, Perfect 10 is. I mean, I love that series, and you know, I pay for it, and I know I'm going to get it. And I know. Here's the thing: I know when I pay for it, I know that you're working to get it to me as fast as you can, and that. I don't like if I'm waiting a little extra long, but I know that it's being done as fast and as well as it can. I'm okay with that wait time.
You know, the thing is now that you mentioned it, right? With Perfect 10 Book 5, we decided to bring on a inker to speed up the process.
Oh yeah,
I can tell you, it doesn't work.
Really,
it doesn't work. I feel like it takes even longer because you have more people to
juggle,
coordinate, right? So anyway, he's part of the team now. He's doing fantastic work. Thiago Gomez. I don't know if you know him. If you work with him, you work with a inker also, right?
I don't. I've considered it because you know, my artist has been very slow lately, but right now I kind of need slow because I'm still building my business. I'm still building my brand.
Yeah.
So I don't mind it. Now, come future, I might mind it. But for now, I'm okay with it because he's doing such a good job that it's like, and again, I don't need that speed right away. The book issue 1 was mostly done.
Right.
So,
Gorilla Mar, welcome, sir. What's up, guys? Subscribe to Gorilla Mar's YouTube channel. He does like comic book reviews, and we need comic book reviews, especially for indie comics. You know, we need more of that. So support him. Right. What are you drinking, Vaughn? I need to ask the question. I almost forgot.
What are you drinking, or what am I drinking?
I'm drinking cola.
Cola. I'm drinking coffee because I woke up late because I stayed up till like 4:30 in the morning playing video games on a live stream. So.
Oh, really? On a live stream, even on your own channel? Or?
Yeah.
What did you play?
I played Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles for the first time. Well, I was playing that for the first time, and then there's the Knuckles campaign, so I was replaying it. And I'm very bad, but the thing about being bad at games like that on stream is that people enjoy it in the audience because they like laughing at your pain. Fun. But I did have fun with that. That game is amazing. And it also goes to show true classics don't go out of style. Again, that game was released before I was born. And those original Sonic games are so good, man. But now I have a newer one I probably want to play. But I also have responsibilities now.
That sucks. Right. Holy shit. Mike says backers might mind a slow or unresponsive artist.
Exactly.
Too.
Thankfully, my artist has been responsive. And like I said, issue 2, all the art is done. So if anything, what would be slower on is 3, which I don't even know if I have the funds for right now, which is why I don't necessarily mind too heavily.
Right. Yes. You don't want to grow too quickly with your business.
Yeah. Well, I was doing that, and I'm kind of like, what? Hold up. Because I got a little cocky. I'm like, I got to slow down a little bit.
Yeah. Well, you will also learn that these books they often take more time than you expect, right? You just want. So what's the so far, if you compare book 1 and book 2, how long does it take to make one issue?
Well, it's not, a fair comparison. This one has taken a way longer after the finished colors and art phase. I think my letterer has had a lot going on. But he's just sent me some stuff. But this one, was faster, but it's not a fair comparison because I was setting up the company, setting up the characters, setting up character design, setting up a lot more. I did some character designs too, but this one went faster because it's a 24-page issue. So,
Oh, the previous one was bigger, right?
Much bigger, yeah. So this this next issue should be somewhere, because it's going to be a 40-something pages long. It should be between those two in length in terms of how long it'll take to do. But on 24 pages, I like because it's going to be a faster turnaround time. I'll have to snap at my letterer a bit more, but I took some constructive criticism on this one, which anyone should do. They mentioned they liked the art, but that there were too many, I don't know what the word for it is, but too many straight on shots, not enough angles.
Oh, right. So, yeah.
Actually, shout out to him. I was on my Well Read review, which I recommend all creators do that. Submit to Well Read.
I saw that. Yeah.
And actually, Marcus Miller was like, "Hey, I could just do some digital stuff with the art." And I'm like, "You sure?" I'm like, if you want to." He goes, "Yeah." And so he just did it and sent it to I was like, "Well, let me see my artist things." He goes, "Oh, I actually like it. And I learned a lot. Now I'll be a better artist going forward." My artist takes criticism very well. He takes feedback from me, but also now we're getting feedback from artists because I don't think like an artist. I think like a writer. And so every issue, I'm hoping in some way will be better than the last. Now, this one will be hard because it's 24 pages versus 68-page first issue, and plus it was fully inked by the time, I think it was fully inked by the time issue 1 was in people's hands, actually.
Oh, great. Yeah, people just received the first issue, like a few weeks back, right? So
about a month or so, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Eastlyn Burkholder, welcome, Eastlyn. Long time no see. Good to see you back. Welcome. So yeah, so why is book 1 bigger than book 2?
Because honestly, the short answer is it's what I thought was better for the story. And also I wanted there to be a fight with the villain, like a fight with my superhero in action, but I had a lot of setting up to do. And I was like, well, I don't want to leave them in suspense for too long because it would have been by issue 3, we get there. There are natural issue breaks, right? You could find them where, okay, this is where issue 2 was supposed to start, 3. And I was like, if I'm making a strong first impression, I want to get to this point. But I also want to keep all that other stuff. I don't want to just chop. Obviously, there was a lot of stuff that ended up on the chopping block, which is good. The story is better for all that. But, I was like, well, let's give them a good chunk of story to start with, and that'll make them really want the next one. So that's what it is. It was always intended to be 24 pages standard. And then issue 3, I was introducing so many new characters. So that one's going to be 40 pages. But generally, the standard will be 24. It's going to be weird to start. But oftentimes...
the standard is 24. The first one was 60, then 24, now 40.
Yeah, and then it'll go back.
Of course.
You learn kind of that's a good thing about being indie too, right? Is you can do stuff like that.
Well, I know the problem. The first issue of Perfect 10 was 24 pages. The second was 28. And now they are all 32. And I promised myself to keep it within those 32 pages because of the printing costs.
Oh, God. Yeah.
And but it kind of helps me also to keep the story really streamlined.
Yeah.
So you have to cut out a lot of things. But maybe if it gets bundled into this one book, right? I can maybe add some stuff, but that's for later, right? Mike asks, who's that woman character reminiscent of Red Ninja?
Well, I take it you haven't read issue 1 yet. Well, that's great because this campaign has a catch-up tier. So in issue, in Phenomenova, basically in my world, what you got is you've got this world is set 20 years after World War III. Now, in World War III, there were a group of superheroes called the Crusader Corps, which people are already requesting that I do a prequel about them, which I would love to, but first we got to make sure Phenomenova is stable enough, it's running at a good enough pace, it's making money. Then I would love to go and do Crusader Corps while that's going, a prequel series. But Crusader Corps was the name of that group, and one of the members was the Phoenix Senshi. So she is a warrior. She's Japanese. She basically is almost like a super ninja. Like she's super strong, super faster, stronger, better senses, better healing, better reflexes than your standard human. And so she is basically just like a super ninja, and she obviously survived the war, and she is now mentoring and training the next generation of heroes. That being Galvanite. So Galvanite is my main character, and he is being trained to join a group of teenage heroes or young adult heroes called Phenomenova. So you haven't seen Phenomenova yet. They're going to show up in 3, which is why 3 is a bigger issue. But you will be introduced to one of the members in this issue. But she is basically their mentor figure. She was a veteran in World War III, and she is their mentor figure. And so this is a training issue. We're now seeing Miles is dealing with the first step of his training. Right.
Mike also compares her to a more fully clothed Yeah, why is she more fully clothed? What's that about?
I don't know, man. I don't know, but I was very upset in Smash Bros when they censored my.
Oh no. Mike lost Fatal Fury.
Wow, she does kind of look like that. Yeah. What a great character design.
Right. Oh, you just Googled her? You didn't know about her?
Well, no, I knew about her, but I was comparing her to Senshi. I'm like, yeah.
All right. Yeah. Welcome, Darksiders Comics. Guys, subscribe to Darksiders Comics channel for daily comic book reviews. Yeah.
I got one for you to review, Darkside, if you're interested.
Yeah,
no, I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Phenomenova. It's pretty good.
Yeah, just send it over. Send it over to him. All right, great. Shall we start by watching the trailer?
Sure. Let's get into it.
Right, let's do this.
I just want it to be like the Crusader Corps. Like my father. I thought with my new powers I could be. But I failed. I let everyone down. I got people hurt. I just wanted to make the world a better place. And instead I made things worse. But now I have the chance to make things right with the help of one of the Crusader Corps.
Yeah!
The Phoenix Senshi. And I will. I have to.
Costume.
Whatever it takes. I will find that spark again.
I can't read all of that this fast.
Oh, you might have to rewatch and give me another view.
Yeah. This looks too violent.
Yeah, that cover was more like, I didn't anticipate anything like that. My artist told me this idea, like thematically, that he's shedding the old version of himself from issue 1, that she's kind of slaying it. And he came up with that idea for that cover, and I was like, that was so cool. I just had to do it.
All right. Okay. So it's not an homage to a existing cover.
Not that my artist and I are aware of. Why does it remind you of something?
All right. Cool. So who did the design for Galvanite's costume?
The makeshift. Well, it was my artist. Although I will give credit. So my trading artist Julia Lenihan, I gotta give credit for that. She basically came up with that color scheme because it was originally going to be like a gray or whatever costume, and she came out with the blue and whatever for that. That's his makeshift costume. So you don't even see that costume in issue 2. It was in issue 1, which is why the day 1 trading card for issue 1 was that debut costume, because that's not going to be around anymore. It was kind of like how in the first Spider-Man movie, you know, he has that montage of him going through costumes. There's one like that in issue 1. In issue 2, he has his he's upgraded to his training uniform, but it's still not his final costume.
Oh, I thought that was his superhero getup, but it's not.
Yeah, so in issue 2, if you were to scroll down, you could see the new costume is a training uniform, kind of like how, the generic Phenomenova training uniform, kind of like how the New Mutants, you know how they had their generic costume, and X-Men had like theirs, and then they upgraded to their own. So he hasn't upgraded to his individual costume yet. He's now in his training uniform.
Oh, okay, right. Now I get the symbol on the chest. I was wondering what that was about. If his name was Galvanite, but it's the P from Phenomenova.
Yes.
Right. Okay. All right. I'm all caught up. Excellent. So this is I thought that I remembered that you told me that every issue was about a new character, so you could slowly like form this group. But I think
no, not necessarily. No, it wasn't. No, Galvanite is kind of, we're starting with the one main character, and then he's going to fold into the team. So it's not like it's going to be like this character, then this character, and this character, and this character, but we're slowly building into it. So we have 2 new first appearances in this issue. We have our first member of Phenomenova that we're introduced to is Estrella. So she's the one with the blindfold, and she'll have hearing aids too. So she basically, she's deaf and blind, but she has psychometry, which means she can absorb, memories and information from the environment in real time. And so that's how she could see and hear. She could sense people's movements. She could really read people well. And that is her ability. She's also a detective in addition to being a member of Phenomenova.
So what was her name? What did you say?
Estrella.
Estrella. What does that
Greek
mean?
goddess. So it's a Greek goddess. One of the ones that was kind of an inspiration for Lady Justice of Roman, but Lady Justice was taken, and I was like, Estrella is a really cool name. So it's a Greek name. The character is Italian, but the Greek roots of the character is what she's embracing by taking that name.
All right.
And then we have Hotline, who's the tech support character.
Cool name.
Oh yeah. So
that's cool. Right. So this guy, he's now being trained by 3 babes. Is that the deal? Because
kind of. Well,
if that's the deal, then that's your pitch, right? Guy gets trained by 3 babes. Done.
It kind of worked out that way. It wasn't even intentional because they had the team has obviously guy characters, but it was like who fits in this one? Well, the tech support would be helping him. The detective character, Estrella, can scan his memory. So you kind of get an issue 1 recap in issue 2.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Which is good. But then you're going to be like, wait a minute, I want to read that. So you could just read issue 2, but you're going to want issue 1, so you might as well get issue 1.
Of course. Mike says, looking good. Each cover, including the black and white cover interiors as well. Very nice, Vaughn.
Thank you. And then, of course, Senshi is going to be training him. But yeah, if you see one of the interior pages shows Estrella walking in with the 2 detectives beside her. So she is, in this issue, she's functioning as a detective, but she will also be a member of the team.
All right. I like this concept here with this cover.
Oh, yeah. That cover really. This artist just worked on a Vampirella comic for Dynamite that just came out. So. He's great. Yeah, he's a Cuba School grad. Mariano's good people. He's a friend of mine, and Nick, of course, the colorist, friend of mine too.
The same team from issue 1.
What on this cover?
Yeah.
No. On the main cover is the same team, except the only difference is the main cover is colored by the same colorist of issue 1, but the interiors of issue 2. The colors for issue 1 could not return for issue 2, but he should be back for 3. But the colors for issue 2, he was good, and I had to have someone else fill in as the colorist, but I think he did a good enough job.
Right, cool. All right, and here we have a 4th cover. You have 4 covers for this issue?
I decided, like, Dawn was doing a deal, and I was like, yeah, you know what, why not? Let's just throw a 4th cover on there.
Right.
And yeah, so I got that one. And then this is the back cover. So the back cover for issue 1 was a Blood Strike homage. And it was ended up being grayscale. And so I was like,
wait.
Right here, the same guy the same guy designed the Rebel Oasis logo, who designed this corner box logo and art.
I was looking at that earlier. That's pretty cool.
So he ended up doing the back cover again. This time we decided on grayscale again. So it's kind of like the back covers are going to kind of be covers that wouldn't work as the main cover, but do still work with the story is what we're planning.
Sure.
We might keep it grayscale going forward. We'll see. It's worked twice. So,
well, if it works, don't break the winning formula, right?
Yeah.
All right. Really cool. So who's this that on the left?
That would be Hotline.
That's Hotline, right?
Yeah.
That's all right. I got it.
And then if you go down, there we go. There's her in the issue. So fun fact, she's actually based on art-wise one of my cover artists for issue 1. So Sukeisha Ray, she's also so she drew this, the girl, and she looks kind of like Hotline. So
really?
I was like, do you mind? Because the character was going to be like an Indian chick, and initially, and I was like, you know what? So the character, I was revising my drafts, and her name wasn't Hotline; it was something else, and I was like, this character kind of sucks. I was like, can I do something? What if I made her like hot? I was like, the character's boring. I was like, the character's really boring. And then I was like, you know what? I have a friend who's Indian. I was like, can I base her off of you? She's like, yeah, I'd love that. And then she got the character design. She was like in love with the character.
Okay, cool.
So if you scroll down, you could see the trading card actually, if it funds. So you guys missed the day 1 trading card if you haven't backed yet. But if you scroll down,
let me take a look at these sequentials first.
Yeah.
Really
I
nice.
didn't want to show too many. I had all of them. And there was actually my favorite page was on the campaign page. And I was like, you know what? And then I deleted it from the campaign page. I'm like, nope, you guys buy the book. I can't show off you want to show off everything, but it's like, you can't.
No, you can't.
We have a fan art contest going, and the winner will have their piece featured in the back of the book, and they will also get a copy of the main cover.
So it had to go all the way down. What did you say for the cards?
So that first one you guys can't get anymore. That was the day 1 trading card.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. So did this contribute to the success so far of this campaign? What do you think was the strategy here? What did you?
I mean, I think you want to give people incentive to back day 1. People at the end of the day will back day 1 regardless if they really want to, but you want to give something for people that back that get, because you want that number right away, right? It really helps with the momentum. It helps also easing your stress to know that, hey, I made this much on day 1. So I'm going to keep doing day 1 trading cards because it's worked once. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And then I also wanted to make sure that people who back, even if you just back the main cover, get something that other people don't. And I figured this trading card of Hotline was more than enough to make people feel like, yeah, I could back the campaign instead of just waiting for it to be on his website. You know,
all physical backers will receive an exclusive Hotline trading card with art by Dan Dahl. Yeah, we love Dan Dahl's art, and colors by Nick Capone with their order if the campaign gets funded. Okay, so that's a given right now. So people get this.
Yes, so people get
that's
that.
comic book side.
Day 1. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's a trading card. It's like
trading card. Yeah, trading card. Sorry. Cool.
So, David understands. Yeah, well, Hotline. I was like, yeah, exactly. It was also like there's going to be some exposition in this issue, so I'm like, well, let's make it delivered by chicks that are good looking. There we go.
Of course.
Listen, I understand. I've read Witchblade, but Witchblade is actually good though. But like, it also, if there's something that wouldn't be interesting, have Michael Turner draw the chick and have her be good looking. You know, that was a surefire way to do it.
Yeah. When everything else fails, just hire Silvestri.
Oh, Silvestri girls are on another level, man. I finished Silvestri's X-Men run. I'm now on his Wolverine run.
That's really cool. His earlier Wolverine run, That's
Yeah.
a different style though than his work later on. But it's really good though. It's really the basics are so good.
Yeah, Michael Turner's Witchblade was. I've talked to Dave Wohl in person. He was really cool.
What was Hotline's first name that you didn't realize?
Oh God, it was bad. It was all right. I'll reveal it. So it's like not even like funny. It's just bad. It's just so I couldn't think of it. She was supposed to be a really minor character, and then I realized this character is going to keep showing up. I might as well do something.
Yeah.
Artistic. So it was like I was looking through Indian real names because she wasn't going to have a code name.
Okay.
And then I came up with the name Akriti Bhat. And then it was Bhatt. And I was like, well, bot kind of sounds like robot. So I was like, well, what if she's just Akriti Bhat?
Right.
Like bot. And I was like, I guess I'll just give her that. And I just kind of threw that as a placeholder. And I was like, this is horrible.
Right.
So I
you came up with that you wanted to do design. You want to spice the character up. And from that also automatically came the new name.
Hotline, yeah. Well, I just came up with a new name. I was like, let's make it. Yeah, I was like, Hotline. I was like, oh, that's perfect.
Yes. That's how these things often work. I have the same thing with characters. They just don't work somehow. I can't get a grip of these characters, and then I find their name. So they have these placeholder names, right? And I have the name. Suddenly, when I have the name, things begin to move. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is the character. Suddenly you get it. Really cool. Right. So this is is this really superhero? This is like classic superhero stuff? So people who like superhero comics will like Phenomenova, right?
Yeah. I mean, I like I said, some of my biggest influences, I'd say, were Claremont's X-Men, and New Mutants. Well, I would actually say my first influence was Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movie, and probably my biggest for that. And then it would evolve, like shows like Young Justice, shows like Marv Wolfman, comics like Marv Wolfman, George Perez's New Teen Titans. You know, the Year One comics were always good, like especially the Chuck Dixon ones. God, I loved. What were some of my other influences? I'd say like Avatar: The Last Airbender, that series. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I pulled from a lot of different stuff. But for superheroes, yeah, if you love superheroes, especially like 80s stuff. Oh, so of course, the Stan Lee Spider-Man stuff from the 60s was a big influence too. You know, I read the Ditko run. I've read like the first bunch of Ramita. You know, there's tons to play with here, right? So,
Dandol draws delicious dolls.
A creepy bot, not a creepy bot, but yeah, creepy. Oh. Yeah, but it's still bad, Dave. It's still bad. There's no question about it. It's terrible.
Hotline is a fantastic name. That's really good.
Great name. Fantastic. No, I know it's perfect. Which is why sometimes it's okay to write garbage. Just don't publish garbage.
Yeah, exactly. You have to start somewhere. You know, just build.
Get your ideas out there, no matter how bad they are. On the paper. I want to say out there. I mean on the paper. Don't get the bad ideas out there to the public.
Yeah, but even terrible dialogue, for instance, you have this main concept for a dialogue or this main thing that needs to be discussed. So you just write it down. Just write down the dialogue, the scenes, and everything will come later. You know, you can like edit things constantly until it goes to the printer, right? So make the most of that. And yes, it's true that Dan Doll draws delicious dolls. I wanted to commission Dan for a gorgeous and grotesque piece, but I ran out of money.
So that tends to happen. I wanted to work with Dan Doll, and I would love to work with him again. He did amazing work.
Yeah. And Mike says that Michael Turner's Witchblade was well written.
Yeah, David Wohl did great. He said he would come on my show, but I haven't been able to get in contact with him. Oh, that was like over a year ago. So I don't know how to get in contact with him, but I'll try. Oh. David Wohl is good guy, and great writer. Yeah, people don't talk about his writing of it enough, and I need to read Witchblade Volume 3. But at this point, neither him or Michael Turner are involved, which I guess is why I haven't
Yeah, and then you have the current reboot, right, of the Witchblade. I have zero interest in that.
Yeah, where she's fully clothed from head to toe. I'm like, are you kidding?
Why would you? That's a downgrade. Why
I'll tell you why. Someone was telling me who's in the industry. You know why? Because they're shopping it around for TV.
Oh, that makes sense.
Right. That's why I'm doing it. Someone in the industry told me that, and I'm like, yeah, that checks out. Because you don't want a bunch of Hollywood executives going, we can't put a woman in that. So what do? You make it more palatable to them.
They say, but she's a Latina chick, like Sarah Pazzini, right? She's
Italian.
We make her gay, so
she could be like lesbian or something.
And she's fully I just told my girlfriend today we were watching this series on Netflix. If you watch American shows from the last 10 years as a European, and you try to learn what America is through the show.
You're not going to learn it. You're going to learn what Hollywood wants America to be.
Yes. Then you think like 40% of Americans are black, 40% are gay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Every other person here is gay. Yep. That's how it works. It's totally how it works. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. It's and to the point, like, so I majored in filmmaking in college. And I would be getting these job applications after I graduated. Like I'm friends with because I network, so I'm like the head of the film commission. He'd send me these stuff and be like, jobs looking for queer PAs. I'm like, what does being queer or black or a woman have to do with like being a production assistant? And the job description would be like helping around on set, getting coffee. I'm like, so anyone could do this job, and you're telling me, well, we don't need you because you're white. It's like, are you kidding? Like, these are jobs that anyone can do, and if it's a job that anyone can do, that's how they're filling their diversity quotas. Like, if it's a job anyone can do, so all those like young go-getters, if you're a white man, bottom of the totem pole, and I can tell you that because I've dealt with it. It's like, dude, I want this, but it's again, it's a job anyone can do, and so if I'm gonna have the same resume, or even a slightly better resume than someone who's, insert minority group, I'm less likely to get the job. That's just the truth, because they are openly looking for, and the reason is because the state literally rewards, grants to people who have a more diverse cast, a more diverse crew. And that's the truth. Like, that's genuinely the truth. It's for money now. It's like incentivized to basically go, yeah, well, let's hire a non-white male. And I'm like, what did I do to you, man?
It's absolutely crazy. I hope that with the new administration that things will turn around.
We can only hope. But yeah, it's ridiculous. But and that's part of why I went indie and went into indie comics. I was like, well, I'm not going to take my big budget films and make those indie, but I can do indie comics. And it just so happened, it wasn't like a grift thing either, because I was like, I actually really like comics. And I started going to conventions around that time. And I was like, you can't go to conventions and meet your favorite filmmakers or people like that. You can go to conventions and hang out at the bar with artists and writers that you're a fan of.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You can't do that with film.
Right. Yes, it's true. Welcome, TJ Inks. Tiago, Tiago is the inker on Perfect 10 Book 5. Yesterday, he delivered page 29. So 3 pages to go, and he's doing a fantastic job. Welcome, Tiago. Mike says, I've been considering getting back into Witchblade post-turner, but before that blonde usurper chick butts into rightful Sarah Pazzini's place.
I've been considering getting back into Witchblade post-Michael Turner, but before that blonde usurper chick is... okay, yeah, I have... Where is it? I didn't get the fourth omnibus on Kickstarter. With the dust jacket, but I'll get that later when it comes, because I never finished 3 and I had other books to back. But shoot, okay, they've been smart with the Kickstarters, because the first 2 I got before they were on Kickstarter, and she's barely clothed on the covers. Do you know what they've been doing, Dave? You know what they've been doing?
What?
Giving dust jackets where she's barely clothed, right? This is 3, But then if you didn't back the Kickstarter, look at what they do to you. Look at what they do to you. And they're doing the same with the newest one. They're putting clothes on this one. Ridiculous, Steve. Ridiculous.
Well, we can balance the scales, man. We can with indies we can do whatever we want.
Well,
right?
What I do find funny is Sarah is not even, she's barely even wearing that iconic Witchblade outfit in the interiors of the book itself. She's normally clothed. She's still hot, but like, again, she doesn't actually have to be that skimpy. But it does bother me because it's like, I'm sure it's not a coincidence that current year she's covered head to toe in armor.
No, of course not. Of course.
It's like, come on. And we know that it would sell better if,
If they actually dared to make a television show the way she was presented in the original series, I would watch that. Everyone would watch that.
Yeah, also, I'm going to say Estrella is largely inspired by... I can't believe I don't say this more, considering we've been talking about Witchblade for how long. Estrella is largely inspired by Sarah Pazzini. Estrella, that character. She's Italian. She's hot. Initially, her skin tone was going to match Sarah Pazzini's like coloring style, and it does in my headcanon, but like the coloring styles are just different in the 90s. So like we did try it with that 90s style, and it just looked a little off. But Estrella is in large part inspired by Sarah Pazzini in terms of her physical look.
Right. Wait, let me see what the chat has been saying. Mike says, abandoned big and small screen Hollyweird for the past 10 plus years for unwatchable old stuff. Instead, you'll be smarter. Yeah.
Yeah, I have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. Same with old comics. Is one of the things people don't realize is if you don't want to read current comics, like especially my generation, we don't. Dude, you could just go. And,
There's so much.
I still have to read Claremont's X-Men. I still have to finish New Teen Titans. I don't need this crap.
No.
I don't need to pay more for a lesser story when I could go out and there's a backlog. And that's also why indie comics, you have to understand, we're not just competing with. I mean, if we want to stay current, then you go indie. But if you want to, you also understand, dude. Like, if I'm selling my book and I'm like, it's based in Claremont's X-Men, and someone my generation goes, I haven't read that. They could read all that for a subscription to Marvel Unlimited.
Sure.
So we're also, so now we have to, but we have to stand out against the past too. So you're competing with the past, you're competing with the present, you're competing with everybody. But, you can either complain about it or do the best you can, right? And get inspired to do better.
So what do you think your books, how do your books stand out against what's available right now in the mainstream, but also with other indie projects?
One, I think I'm building into that kind of, I mean, everyone says they're inspired with the Claremont stuff, but I'd say, I don't see a lot of coming of age stuff in the indie space. I really don't. With the next generation of superheroes, young superheroes, I see mostly this guy's coming out of retirement or something like that. So I think in terms of like, I really wanted to do something that has kind of a younger team, kind of like New Teen Titans, kind of like New Mutants, but a younger team that's not trying to tear down the old. Because it feels like everything that's the new generation is always like, the old people were actually problematic, like something that's respectful. Like my characters, again, essentially is a World War III veteran that has to teach the younger generation to be inspired by. So I think one of the things that my series is doing is it's keeping that youthful energy and optimism while also paying respect to what came before and the masters that came before. And I'm doing that both within the story in terms of superheroes, but also, on a macro lens, again, my big influences are, people that came before. And I feel like a lot of modern writers I just see it, not even just in comics. I was looking into the new Sonic movie because I've been making Sonic videos, and they're always talking about, for the new Amy Rose, we have to update her from the old stuff because that was problematic. And it's like, shut up. Pay respect to the people that came before you. And it's like every writer around my age is always talking about how we respect them, but also let's throw out everything they did. So do you respect them? Because it sounds like you're saying you do because you want the job, but do you actually genuinely, wholeheartedly respect them? I doubt it.
I think a lot of people nowadays need to convince themselves that what they're doing is better, or that the world's better now, or that they are better than the previous generation, or whatever, because they have nothing else, right? That's their whole thing.
And the truth is, you want to be, I want to be create something that's timeless, and you can't. If everything is outdated, nothing can be timeless. That is another big short-sighted thing that these people are doing, right? If everything has to change with the times, then nothing is timeless, and that is the death blow to creativity.
You said it yourself. You had your Sonic 3 stream last night, right?
Yeah,
and that game still holds up, right?
Oh my god, yeah.
There hasn't been
awesome.
There hasn't been a decent modern Sonic game. Like,
well, apparently this one that I just got is really good. Apparently
there's a new one.
Yeah, Sonic Shadow Generations. Apparently it's really good. But to your point, yeah, they weren't as consistent. And because I would play the game because I really loved the new characters in the games growing up. But looking back, was the gameplay ever my favorite part of the Sonic games I had growing up? No. I liked the idea of the characters I was playing. I'd read the manuals, but I was always like, did I have like a favorite level? And I was like, I mean, not really. That's just me being honest.
Want to say hi to Immortal Rising comic book. Sorry for not saying hi earlier. Welcome. Hi. And Student OG, welcome.
How's it going? Yeah, I think God, I mean, I think so anyway, what I can offer is an ongoing story. If you like the Claremont, if you like the multiple storylines going, I don't feel like doing volumes, like everyone else is doing. Wait a year, get whatever pages. I want to keep it going, and my goal is to eventually build it where I'd love to even hire fill-in artists to go in faster, but obviously for now, keep it going. But if you want an ongoing series where you're getting them at a regular rate, if you like those coming of age, next generation of superheroes, if you want to have fresh new ideas in a larger universe, go. And I have ideas for spin-offs, but right now I'm focusing on one. If you want one ongoing title that kind of harkens back to the good old days,
cool.
But it's the next generation. That's it. Phenomenova is a love letter to the superhero genre, my love letter to the superhero genre. In an age, I always say this, in an age of deconstruction, Phenomenova is a reconstruction and a reconstitution of the superhero genre. I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm making a new one, built upon what the masters that came before me did.
Wow. Well, you're doing good, man. People seem to like the series. You have 89 backers. Let me refresh. Maybe we have some more. I don't know. You have 89 backers right now in January. That's
2 days,
that's astonishing.
Yeah, they told me I couldn't do it.
No, but you proved them all wrong.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And here's the thing. I know a lot of people, that's why I made it a 60-day thing, because I'm going to be campaigning for 2 months anyway, because I know it's a crappier time. And I'm not big enough where I could say January is all I need. Maybe one day I'll be moving at that pace, but not today.
No.
So, and I'm aware of that, so.
Will you be branching out to other crowdfunding platforms?
Oh, yeah. Kickstarter, Indiegogo, but I wanted to raise $4K on one platform and then plop it on Indiegogo, and then Kickstarter I'm going to launch in February. But yeah, I've had some people, because I did a poll. I was like, how many people will only back on Indiegogo? And it was like 14%. And I'm like, that's enough for me to justify launching an Indiegogo, because it may be small, but I'm not in a position where I could turn anyone down. Bad Guy spinoff, Dark Cloud. So Dark Cloud shows up in 2 pages of issue 1, and he's like everyone's favorite character. Dark Cloud, I would love to. Here's what I don't want to do with Dark Cloud is I already have a really cool villain. I'm not ready to give him a full-blown redemption arc yet, but he is a character with, and I kind of hint at it, where he's got some good in him, but he's still very much a villain. Dark Cloud, I have a lot of plans for. He was a character where I had my first arc is going to be 8 issues, but after that, it took me a while to think, because I had conflicting plans for him, and I finally came up with a plan. Like it wouldn't get to it for a while that I'm happy with for the future. But I have ideas for how we could do spin-offs. Hell, if I get a good enough idea for a mini series, I'd think on it. But I have a lot I can do with Dark Cloud as a character. But for now, I don't think I'm gonna do a Dark Cloud spinoff just yet. But I have ideas with it. I have ideas for other spinoffs. Like I mentioned, the one I'm leaning toward doing first would be the Crusader Corps prequel comic, which would be set with superheroes like Senshi and others during World War III. So,
do you have a new villain here for issue 2?
No, it's a training issue, so it's really him kind of her diving into his past. Dark Cloud is going to be taking a back seat this issue, but he'll be back again on issue 3. So
Dark Cloud is your main antagonist, basically, for the entire series.
For not for the entire series, for the first arc.
First arc, sure, yeah. Right. Welcome, Pops.
Pops, how you doing?
Welcome, sir. Well, we're nearing the end of the hour. So, is there one more thing that you want to tell people? You have a digital issue, for instance.
Oh yes. So if you're international and you like me, but you don't like me enough to pay for international shipping, that is okay, guys. So you can get digital. I'm all about building my audience and getting accessibility. Sure. And I think, I realize I'm leaving money on the table. You also have to realize how much money it costs to do that, to print a book. Because printing, I was realizing how much extra I'm spending on printing, like trading costs. That's because there's physical, printing for conventions, setting up for conventions. All of that is physical. If I just did digital, I would save a lot of money. But there's something special about holding those books in your hand, man.
Yeah. Of course.
I'm not ready to, if one day I would consider the option of going digital first and waiting for trades. But for now, I'm not there yet. And I've had people tell me, everyone who gets the book physically, nobody has been like, that was too much. Everyone who gets it is like, no, it was expensive, but everyone who goes, yeah, but I'm glad I paid for it, which is the best thing you can get. The worst thing you could get is, I wish I didn't buy that. That's the worst, which I have not gotten. Global Comics. Also, you could read the first 10 pages of issue 1 for free. You can even get a PDF there. You could buy issue 1 even directly from my website if you want it right away, or you could do the campaigns. Now, I'm hoping to ship this to you in March, but we'll see. I add an extra month just to be safe.
Well, you still have some work to do, right? On the book, on the art.
Yeah. And here's the thing. The faster and harder this funds, the faster we can move to issue 3. But obviously that depends. That's why I've incentivized that reaction. That's why I'm adding, rewards for you guys to get where we want to get.
Sure. Right. For $10, people can get both comics, so issue 1 and issue 2, and plus issue 1 is like almost double the size of this one, right?
So, more than double the size.
More than double the size even. So that's good. For $10, you get issue 2 physical.
Mm-hmm.
I have to catch up for $30. All right, cool.
And again, there's the digital catch up, and you could read the first 10 pages in Global Comics. So
this means that people can choose which cover they want for issue 2, right?
Yes.
Okay. Right. 2 covers. You can get for $20. You get 2 covers. You can pick 2 of your favorites. You get 3 copies for $30. All right. It's all increments of $10.
Mm-hmm. I decided to make all the covers at the same price on the campaign, and then whatever is left over, which I'm planning on printing the right amount, maybe just a little bit extra, just to be safe. Whatever's left over will be like $20 at conventions in terms of those covers.
Oh, right. Okay. You even have a producer tier.
Yes, I say to everyone, put a $500 and a $1,000 tier. You never know. Most likely people won't get it, but I got lucky in my first campaign. People got both of those. So,
wow, Cool.
I'm not expecting it, but if it happens, it's a pleasant surprise.
You're doing great. You're doing great, Vaughn.
And if anything, it makes your higher tiers. Oh well, you know, I this is $100. That's a lot, but compared to the producer tier, it's not too bad. You know, that's part of it. It's kind of like you want to get like that. There's those horrible burgers where it's like, oh, triple baconator. That's like a heart attack on a but you know, this double cheeseburger suddenly doesn't look so bad.
Right. Yes.
It's that kind of thing.
Man, it's all psychological.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. You got to wage psychological warfare on potential. It's part of it. It's part of it.
Check the shelf. Let's see what's on the shelf. There is one book that I want to show people also. I'm not sure if it's going to show up here. There it is. Look at this, guys.
Oh, I've heard of this, man.
Yes, this is the right crowd. There's also superhero stuff. So if you like Phenomenova, maybe you like this also, guys. Perfect 10, issue 5. Wonderful story about a synthetic assassin who wakes up in this world filled with superheroes and super villains, and she has to find her role in this world. And we have a exclusive cover drawn by Vaughn Coleman that you can only get on FundMyComic. That's this cover. Go check it out, man. This is insanity. Really cool. And this won't be overprinted, like printed. That's not the right word. It means something else. I wish that it meant overprinted, that you print too much, but it doesn't mean that. So I wanted to use the word overprinted, but you know what I mean. Anyway, this is classic superhero stuff, guys. Wonderful art. It's drawn by POWERTRIP with colors by Daniel Rodriguez. Nowadays, inked by Thiago Gomez. And it's ongoing series for now. We have I already backed it day one, but maybe that cover. Thank you.
I love everyone. I mean, I assume everyone in this chat is back to you because it's your channel.
Oh,
but get this book, dude. This Perfect 10 is my favorite ongoing. You're the one I have to beat, Dave. You're the one I'm like, okay, I have to. Well, you're the one who sets the bar where I'm like, all right.
We need some competition. I like that. And it's good that you mentioned it, Vaughn, because if you backed this campaign elsewhere on a different platform and you want this cover also, you can go to the checkout. You type in the code shipping paid. And this means you already paid the shipping, and this will be deducted from your order, and this will go in the same shipment as your other order. Shipping paid, guys. Welcome, Dr. Ino. Welcome, sir. So go check this out. The link to this, guys, is in the description of this video. You can also get this on Indiegogo, or if you want to wait for the Kickstarter campaign, the pre-launch page is also active, and you can get POWERTRIP Book 2, which is done. This book is done. It's printed. It's done. So you can also get this 3 shorter stories from the Jamie Comics universe made by different creative teams. And if you want, you can also get a commission from POW. Any character you want, can be your own character, can be whatever, and you can use it for whatever you want. You get a high-res scan plus the original art sent to your home. All right, guys, let me stop sharing, end screen shares. There we go. Vaughn, thank you so much, man, for being my guest for today.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
You're very welcome. Mike says, "Oh yeah," says Mike. Yes. Sorry for being late. Well, better late than never, Doc. Nice to have you here. And Pop says, see you tomorrow, Vaughn. So you have some things planned. You're on the campaign tour right now.
Always. I have a spreadsheet. If you ever want it, you can take a look. I have a spreadsheet of I keep adding to it. I think we're at 70 something shows.
Yeah, man, it's technically always, campaigning. Even when you don't have a campaign going on, the way you manifest yourself on social media, everything is like campaigning, is branding, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, Vaughn, thank you. And special thanks to the chat. Thank you all for being here, for watching us, for liking liking the stream. If you liked the conversation, give it a like. If you didn't like the conversation, give it a dislike. And I'm very sorry. I will be back next week. So with a brand new guest. Well, it's not brand new. She's been here before. But next week, same time, same channel. Let me see where the video is. Guys, thanks again. And see you next week. Bye.
See you.